Okay, so in the last video, I showed you how to set up some of your settings in Atom. We created this folder, we created this file right here. Okay, so in this video, I want to show you some Atom shortcuts that I'm going to be using throughout the rest of this course. And I just want to say right at the beginning that you're not expected to memorize all of these by the end of this video. Like there's going to be quite a few of them, and a lot of them you might just over time memorize. Like you might wonder, hey, how do I do that again? You might Google it, you might come back to this video. Then once you remember it, once you start doing them over and over again, you'll just automatically remember them. But I don't expect you to remember them all by the next video or anything like that. So the first one I want to show you it's for HTML. So if you just go here in your index.html file and you just type in HTML and then press tab, you will create the entire boilerplate. So I'm just going to put title here just so there's a title. And then if you want to create an element, you could just say h1 and then just press tab, and it will create the h1 for you, and then put your selector, your little thing right here, inside of it. So it's a lot faster than doing this, right? You just have to do that and you can create a p tag. Okay, and actually, okay, I'll delete these. I'll make them again later. So okay, another one thing I want to show you is undo. So you can hold down Control and press Z, and it will undo things like that. And then Control S will save. So if you do something, you'll see right up here there's a blue circle. That means your file is unsaved. If you hold down Control and press S, it'll go away, and that means it's saved. So do that, Control S, and now it's saved. And another one is to select everything in your file. So if you want to do this, like if you want to copy your file like that, and you can, hold down Control and C to copy, and then hold down Control and press V to paste it. If you wanted to do that, but if you had a long file, like hundreds of lines of code, you'd basically have to go from here and drag all the way down. But instead, you can just hold down Control and press A, then it selects it all for you. So you can Control A, copy, and oops, anyways, I already had it copied, so it doesn't really matter. So okay, so those are those ones. Now the next couple are going to be more specific to code. So the first one is to delete a line. And you can delete a line of code by holding down Control and Shift and pressing K. So again, Control, Shift, and press K. And this is useful for times like this when you have a lot of space. If instead of going like this to delete your space, you just come here and hold down Control and Shift and hold down K, and it will delete all that space for you, like that. And it's good for just if you want to delete one line, a few lines. I use it all the time for that, for just deleting lines. What did I do wrong here? Okay. And another thing that you may not know, you probably know this, but if your thing is down here, your selector, your cursor, whatever that is, if it's down here, you could press Tab, and it'll usually indent it by 4 spaces, but it just indented it by so much more, and Atom does that sometimes. But if you hold down Shift and press Tab, you will go back 4 spaces. See, if you do it here, you'll just go 4 spaces at a time. And you could do this with, you could select multiple lines of code. So actually, let's just do this, and you could change it like this. So yeah. Another thing that's really useful is duplicating code. So you could hold down Control Shift and press D, and it duplicates a line of code. It'll actually duplicate not just a line of code, but any code that you have selected, like that. That one's also really useful. So another thing is, actually for this one, let me put a div tag. So let's say you wanted to put this h1 inside the div down here. You could hold down Control and then just use the arrow keys to move it. And you notice once it gets here, Atom automatically indents it for you. So once it goes out, it comes back here. Then when it's inside, so it'll do that for you automatically. And again, like the other ones, you could do this with multiple lines of code. And that brings me to my next shortcut, which is selecting lines of code. So let's say you wanted to select all of this code, or actually, let me do it like this. Let's say you want to select all this code. Well, right now how I've been doing it is I've just been holding this here and then dragging down. But you could do it faster by holding down Shift and then just doing that, and then you could copy it if you want. Okay, so there's just a few more here I want to show you, and one is I don't really know the name of it, but it's kind of like to select or select next of type. I'm not really sure what you would call it, but it kind of has two ways of using it. The first way is, let's say your cursor is here, and let's say you want to change everything inside here, or just this word rather, not everything inside, just this one word, but you don't want to select it. You could select anywhere in the word, then hold down Control and press D, and it will select the whole thing for you. And the other use for it is, let's say you're here on the H1, you can select the H1, and then if you do it again, you'll select the next version of that. So if you just go down here, so if you just keep tapping it, you end up selecting all those H2s. And you could do that with anything. You could change all those like that. And the last one I want to show you, I'm not really sure if I'm going to use it during this course, but still really useful to know, is to select all that matches your highlighted text. So if you want to, you could have to select this manually, or you could do this. You could select it like that, then hold down Alt and press F3, and it selects all of them for you. So if you had like a lot like this, you could do it with the Control D, but it just takes a little longer, especially like if well, I guess it wouldn't really make a difference. I was gonna say if your code is nested, but it wouldn't make a difference. But you can do it faster just like that. So okay, let's delete this. And that's actually going to be it. So just a quick review, very quick review. You could delete with Control-Shift-K, undo with Control-Z, duplicate with Control-Shift-D. You can move lines around by holding down Control and using the arrow keys. You could copy multiple lines or highlight multiple lines by holding down the Shift. And you could select the your current selection with Control D, and then select the next of type by just tapping it over and over again. So that's all there is. And then the selecting all that's highlighted. So if you do that just here, okay, I guess that works. I didn't realize that would work. I didn't think it would. But anyways, so if you want to like refactor all of your, I don't know, like all your H3s or something, you could actually use that in any file in Atom. It could be a text file, a JavaScript file, CSS, anything. So it's just generally good for refactoring. So you do that. And actually there is one more thing I wanted to show you, and that is manually placing multiple selections like here. So if you hold down Control and select somewhere, it will place another selection. It will basically add to your selection. So usually when you click somewhere like here and you click somewhere else, it removes it from your old location. But by holding down Control, you can put many. And then if you click at the place again, it'll undo it. So then you can do things like that really quickly. Okay, so that was going to be it for this video.